guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zanita Vasitsana Mangan and thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please make sure that you do so. I really hope that you guys are doing well and that you are keeping safe. So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a book by my role model. Well, she's everybody's role model. This woman really motivates me. She encourages me. And I feel like what she stands for and who she is really resonates with me. Of course, I'm talking about Mrs. Michelle Obama. I'm going to be reviewing Becoming. I know that this book came out 2 years ago, but I recently got it and I just finished reading it. So I thought, you know what, it wouldn't hurt to just give you guys a little bit of a review if you haven't read the book. This book is a love letter to its readers. Each and every person that reads this book would feel like Michelle Obama wrote this book for them, because that's exactly how I felt throughout this book. So without wasting any time, let's get into the review. So Mrs. Obama really poured her heart out in this book. She gives us the context of her life and introduces us to the young Michelle who grew up in the south side of Chicago, and she lets us in on her hardships, her struggles, her failures. And I think that's one thing that I really appreciated about this book, that even though Michelle has really done well for herself, we see her today as a very successful woman who is a beacon of hope. But she lets us in on the daily life struggles, that, you know what, life is not easy. Life is not a walk in the park. We are going to face challenges in life, but at the end of the day, we are going to overcome. The challenges that we face today are not the same challenges that we faced yesterday. Life does get better as you go on, you know, and that's the really one thing I appreciated about this book. So, okay, Becoming has 3 parts in it. Becoming Me, Becoming Us, and Becoming More. So Becoming Me is about Michelle's childhood, her family, and how she was brought up, all the way to her varsity, her first year varsity, which is Princeton, one of the Ivy League universities. So that is Becoming Me. Becoming Us is about her life at Harvard University and her relationship with Barack Obama, and also her life as a young adult working for this big law firm and realizing that she is unhappy at her job. Her job doesn't fulfill her because she feels like she is not impacting change. She would really love to do a job that fulfills her and brings about change in society. And it also touches on Barack Obama's life as a Senate, and now the burning desire and the interest now to run for office. And then the third section is Becoming More, which is when President Obama becomes the president. And really she talks about her life in the White House, her family in the White House, the initiatives, the causes that she took upon herself, things that she cared about, and really thinking about change as the First Lady. And I really admired Michelle in terms of the course that she took. She didn't want to be defined by the role of First Lady, but she wanted to define what it means to be a First Lady, and she did things that meant something to her, things that were purposeful to her, things like Let Girls Learn, which is something that I'm really passionate about, investing in girls' education. She talks about joining forces, which is attention to military families, and really decreasing childhood obesity. So those were like some of the causes that she took upon herself to bring about change and really impact lives. So my feelings about this book. This is definitely one of the best books I've ever read, if not the best. I mean, maybe I am being biased because it's Michelle Obama, but truly she took everything that I care about and wrote it down for me. Things like investing in girls' education, valuing the woman's mind, defining who you are personally, not letting other people's opinion affect you, rising above the storm, and really going for what matters to you, what you care about. As I was reading this book, my mind kept on thinking, read slowly, because I knew that by the time I finished reading this book, I was going to be really sad. And I was really devastated because it became my best friend. I had formed relationships with all the characters. It was like I'm living with them. I'm one of the children in the Obama house, and I can see it happen. And then when I finally closed the book, I remember the night when I closed this book and I read the last part, I cried. I shed a tear because I felt like what am I gonna do now? Like, my life is over. Not technically over, not like that, but I just felt like I'm losing a part of me. Who's gonna keep me company? Because that's what it was to me. It became my best friend. Reading Mrs. Obama's book in this lockdown really was very therapeutic to me. It really inspired me. Like, her life and her work ethic, it's truly inspiring, and it really made me forget about all life stresses. I sat in this book and I literally forgot about everything. Just reading it, it motivated me, encouraged me to push more and to do more. So my thoughts about the actual book. First of all, the cover. I mean, she is so beautiful, breathtaking. And the book itself, I mean, kudos to Michelle for giving us everything. Look at the thickness of this book. It is so thick, and in total it has about 426 pages. She really gave us everything, and I really appreciated that. You know what, it's a lot. It's, you know, when you read a good book, you don't want it to end, and at least this one was, although it did end, but it was, she gave us everything. I appreciated that, you know. And I also appreciate the creative writing behind this book. I mean, Michelle Obama is an extraordinary storyteller, but also she does give credits to the creative writers that helped her bring about the book to life. One thing that I really appreciate about Mrs. Obama is that she shares her struggles in a very vulnerable and optimistic way that leaves you very hopeful. She talks about miscarriages, infertility, going to see going to see a marriage counselor. She also talks about the struggles of being a black woman in the spotlight and really going about defining who you are before someone else defines you. And she's very inspiring. And one thing that stuck with me, I'm just gonna read a little bit of it to you guys. It says in her book, and I quote, "If you don't get out there and define yourself, you'll quickly and inaccurately be defined by others." And that's what the world does. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you're capable of, your abilities, someone else will find things that define you, and most of the time they're not going to be correct. And an example of that is when she wanted to apply for varsity, and a guidance counselor, a career counselor, told her that she is not a Princeton material. But Michelle Obama told herself that she was going to prove her wrong. She was going to prove the counselor wrong. She was going to prove everybody wrong. I'm going to just read a little bit of this passage that really stuck with me. "But as I have said, failure is a feeling long before it's an actual result. And for me, it felt like that's exactly what she was planting. A suggestion of failure long before I'd even tried to succeed. I wasn't going to let one person's opinion dislodge everything I thought I knew about myself. Instead, I switched my method without changing my goal. I would apply to Princeton, but without any more input from the college counselor." You know, so she said, okay, you clearly don't know me. What I'm going to do is not listen to you. I admire the fact that you are a career counselor. You probably do know better than I do, but I know myself. So what I'm going to do is listen to my head, listen to my heart, and apply at Princeton. And eventually she was accepted. And that says a lot about someone. And to me, that was a win for me, because as human beings, you know, when you really know yourself, when you really know who you are and what you're passionate about, you wouldn't waste your time doing things that you don't care about. You wouldn't waste your time doing things that you're not passionate about. When you know something, when you know that you're capable of doing something, you know that this is within me, then when you do it well and you succeed in it. You know, I appreciate this book so much, and overall I learned a lot from this book. I learned a lot about passion, about a purposeful life, doing things that mean something to you, and not just settling for mediocrity, not settling for a job that doesn't bring you happiness, but going for things that make you happy, things that fulfill you and bring you about joy. So if you haven't read Becoming, I really recommend that you go get this book for yourself. You would love it. You would really, really love it. And you know what, it's becoming so expensive. A month ago when I went to buy it, it was about 407 rand, and just a couple of days ago when I went to Exclusive Books, I found it for 500 rand. And I think the reason why it's becoming more expensive is because it's lockdown. People are reading a lot now. So my advice to you, go and get this book before it actually becomes super expensive. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure that you do so. Like this video and definitely leave a comment down below. Thank you so much and enjoy your day further. Mwah.